am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. One of the songs that our famous duo comes when they come with their flutes and anyway.
Angelina and Armand.
Yeah, the two A's. That's what I remember. Anyway, this is one of their songs. I asked him if he had any, and he dropped it in my lap. So, real happy to see that. I see bad moon rising. I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times today. Don't go around tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I hear hurricanes are blowing. I know the end is coming soon. I feel rivers overflowing. I hear the voice of raging wind. Don't go around tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Don't go around tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Hope that you got your things together. Hope you are quite prepared to die. Looks like we're in for nasty weather. One eye is taken for an eye. Don't go around tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Don't go around tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I've heard that this called Be a Light has Reba McEntire and Keith Urban and a whole bunch of good singers. If you get to listen to the original of this one as well, it's a great little song. In a time full of war, be peace. In a time full of doubt, just believe. Yeah, there ain't that much difference between Yeah, it's hard to live in color when you just see black and white. In a world full of hate, be a light.
Good morning. Unity of Gulfport. In a world full of hate, be a light. What a great message. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm welcoming me back too, so everybody is welcome. We are all welcome. Thank you for coming this morning. Before we begin the service, let's take a moment to silence our phones, and let's all stand to sing the opening song. It works when I work it.
Joy is more.
Thank you. Let's take time to pray. We open our hearts and minds to receive divine inspiration this morning at this very special place and time. May we allow Spirit to inform us of what is ours to release and what is ours to embrace. We open up, we release, and we receive as Spirit moves in, around, and through us. We are grateful for this glorious morning and all those who are serving today of their gifts and talents. May we each be blessed in a special way. Amen. Again, welcome to Unity of Gulfport. It's my pleasure to be here. If you don't know me, my name is Joan. I've been away for a long, long time, and it's good to be back and see all of your familiar faces. Are there any first-time visitors? Would you like to say your name and where you're from?
Derek.
Okay, Derek, welcome. Oh, okay, we're not happy you broke your collarbone, but we're glad you're here. We do have a welcome packet, and if you want to fill out the bottom portion, we can put you on our mailing list, and you'll receive information about what's going on here at Unity of Gulfport. Thanks again. Is there anyone else? No? So we come together to affirm and celebrate our unity, our oneness with each other, and with the source of all that is. And in that spirit of unity, let us pause to enfold in light and love all people in our community and in our world. The candle of unity signifies the light within us. Even though it's not lit, we know there's a light there, and our connection to the source of all that is. And so it is. And let's affirm our faith. I have faith that God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I have faith that God provides ways when to human sense there is no way. I have faith that God is guiding me in all ways. My health, happiness, and success are assured. And now let us sing Blessing to the World.
Spirit on earth. Spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the
Thank you. And now, Janet Bixler will read the Daily Word.
All righty. In case y'all didn't know, we are twin sisters, just in case you didn't know that.
She's the younger.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is Palm Sunday, and we are on our countdown to Easter Sunday. Next Sunday, and we'll have a food feast, I'm sure, across the hall there. Okay, on Palm Sunday, I celebrate the divine presence within. Today is Palm Sunday, the commemoration of Jesus' arrival in Jerusalem that symbolizes the awakening of the Christ awareness in humankind. Those who followed Jesus into Jerusalem shouted, "Hosanna, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord." Imagining this joyous scene, I feel inspired to follow Jesus' actions and express more and more of the love, peace, joy, and the light of my Christ nature. As Holy Week begins, I open my heart and mind to more fully embody and share the Christ of my being. I feel blessed knowing others around the world are doing the same. Together, we bring peace and healing to the world and to one another, fulfilling the promise of Jesus. And from John 12:13, so they took branches of palm trees and went out to meet him, shouting, "Hosanna, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord."
Thank you, Janet. So our announcements are on the slide and on the back of your bulletin. Let's see if I can. Okay, there's something that I'd like to mention, the Song Circle. This is for anyone who enjoys music or is a musician. You may come and join us in the fellowship hall next door. It's coming up on April the 22nd at 6 p.m. Music night to be announced. That usually is every other month, and the rest is all self-explanatory. Sunday morning discussion group, next one being May the 4th with Reverend Judy, again, in our fellowship hall, and it's always lively and interesting and thought-provoking and makes us get out of ourselves and think a little bit. So after service, another note, we do have fellowship next door, and finger foods and fellowship and coffee and drinks. And Tony always does a good job of putting all that together, and other people. So please join us if you want to just talk about anything and get to know us. Easter is just around the corner. If you'd like to donate Easter candies, Miss Nay, who is our caretaker for the children, she'll have a box set up for your donations. There's an Easter potluck luncheon at the church after service on the 20th, which is next Sunday. And Ms. Nay will also have a sign-up board in the lobby of the sanctuary, which means right outside there. If you'd like to bring food for that event. And I mentioned the song circle. That's just about it. As to prayers, if you have any specific prayer requests, there is a box at the back of the room. You can fill out the slips of paper and put them in the box. They are prayed for here and at Silent Unity. And now Reverend Judy will come to the stage and deliver our message. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. It sure is good to have her back, isn't it? We thought maybe you had moved to Florida, just didn't tell us. We're certainly glad you returned. So, did everyone knows, of course, this is Palm Sunday, right? It's hard to ignore that. Every place you go, you start seeing all of these things that are reminders of Easter, and that's wonderful. I just love Easter too. I love all the colors and all the themes that come up at Easter time. Someone asked me yesterday about where the Easter bunny came from. And I said, well, it's sort of a long story. You know that the ancients, long before the Christian traditions, the ancients always celebrated the traditions of spring and the coming of springs and the hatching of the chicks and the rabbits that express so many things about fertility and the earth and coming back to life. And then when Christianity spread across Europe, they saw that some of these ancient traditions were so ingrained that they were not going to be able to replace them, so they blended them. Isn't that lovely? So the Christian traditions and then the ancient pagan traditions have been blended, and we have all these Easter traditions, and I think it's great. Miss Nay had an Easter egg hunt yesterday for the neighborhood, and if you don't know, she does wonderful things for this neighborhood here and the children. You saw some of them she had with her this morning. Just the great things that she does. We celebrate her, we appreciate her and all the good that she does with them. And they have a positive message every Sunday morning too, and we're proud of that they are learning that they can change their thoughts and make their lives better. Each and every thought counts. Now, if you're new to Unity, that's what we teach here. And some say, well, one of the main differences is that we don't take the Bible literally. We treat them, both the Hebrew and the Christian scriptures, as sacred, but we don't teach them literally and we don't take them literally. I was thinking this week that one of the things that we could summarize the Old Testament by saying that all of those stories, all of them, what they were teaching people at that time and that consciousness, okay? We're not talking about current times. We're talking about the consciousness of that time. And what they were saying was, if you listen to God, your life will go well. And if you don't, it won't. And it was just that simple. That's pretty much what that is summarized down to in those teachings. And then when Jesus came, and we teach that Jesus was a teacher, not the only teacher. He was a master teacher. But he came to say that you can find God within. You're each and every one a unique creation. You're a light and that's where you can find God. Well, it's taken us about 2,000 years, and consciousness is changing, and maybe we're finally getting it, okay? We're finally getting what he came to teach then. And he didn't come to teach about sin and salvation and all these other things that we've turned those teachings into. So maybe we can remember that. That's what unity teaches, basically. This was a daily word. I think it may be one that we have on the screen here is one that is coming up for this week, Holy Week. My time apart, communing with God, brings me lasting peace. And that's one of the reasons we come here, is to find out, how do I find peace? How do I have peace in my life when there's so much turmoil in the world? Can I find peace? Yes, I can. One of the gifts of spiritual living is knowing I have the power to choose my responses no matter what I'm experiencing. Has anybody had an opportunity this week to experience that and choose something different? Have you? What could I learn from this situation is generally what we need to look at. What can I learn from this situation? But before we have our meditative song, and then I will provide the message, and I'll try to time myself and not go over today. I'm going to stay within an allotted time frame, I promise. I think. I'm going to try. Oh, and we like to acknowledge all those people that have done something wonderful or celebrated, and Micah and Jeremiah and all these people that are so good in their classes. And Jeremiah went to state yesterday to the competition, so we'll see how he did. We're going to celebrate with him when he comes back anyway. And I believe our friend Amina, didn't you have some artwork at the Waveland Art Center? Yes, congratulations. Yes. I saw that the other day and wish that my husband and I, when we moved in Bay St. We lived in Bay St. Louis several years till it got too loud, and then we moved down to Waveland where it was quiet. And we were just a couple of blocks away from there. I could have walked up to where you were having that art displayed from there.
It's a celebration of spirituality and nature, so I think everybody would enjoy the show.
Celebration of spirituality and nature, and it's at the Art Center on Coleman Avenue, is that right?
I think so. Studio Waveland Gallery.
Studio Waveland Gallery. Okay. How long will it be there?
I believe until May, the end of May.
End of May. Great.
And I think you better check the hours. I think they're open every Saturday.
Okay.
And there will still be talks also.
Okay. Okay. Check the hours. They're not open all day every day, but probably every Saturday, and then they will also have talks during this period of time. That's wonderful. Celebration of spirituality, nature. Perfect. It's a beautiful place there to do it. This morning, did anyone have a specific prayer request that they'd like to place before us now? Yes, Alice. Okay. Okay. Immigrant families, Alice said, ask for prayer for, and particularly a family that she's been working with trying to get the father returned. Okay. That's good work. Thank you for doing that. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. All right. We know there are several requests out there. They're just unspoken. If you would just close your eyes for a moment and go within and allow Spirit to come in. Relax the muscles around the eyes that allow your focus to go inward. And we just acknowledge this beautiful time of springtime, this holy time, where we may even feel closer to God. This time of rebirth, reawakening, acknowledging the truth within ourselves, and asking for healing in all ways. If I need clarity in my life, I just pray. God, I just pray for clarity here. Help me to see clearly. Help me know what is mine to do and be at peace with it, whatever it is. Help me to know what is mine to do. Help me to know how to help others. And we just place each and every one of these families, those that are distraught in need. We just hold this sacred space for them, from those needing an answer from a diagnosis, knowing how to proceed to heal. We pray for that too. We pray for all those in the world trying to make the world a better place, that they would be strengthened in their faith and their energy. We pray for all the light workers everywhere, that peace might prevail. As the Master of Peace taught us, my peace I leave with you, now and always. Amen.
Here I am, Lord, use me.
Thank you. That was beautiful. They are so dedicated and do such a great job, don't they? They come on. They come on Fridays to rehearse, and I usually like to come and listen, just to be here to listen. So there was this Sunday school teacher, and she gave the youth an assignment. She wanted them to learn by heart the 23rd Psalm. And so they went away, and some of them were able to memorize it, and they were able to come back and recite it, but they were going to have a special night where they would be reciting it to the adults. And so this one little boy just couldn't remember it. And he worried over it, and he tried, and he did everything he could to remember all of it. So finally, when it came up to be his turn that night when they were speaking in front of the adults, he just got up and said, "The Lord is my shepherd." And he stumbled a little bit, and he said, "You know, that's all I need to know. The Lord is my shepherd, and that's all I need to know." Isn't that cool? Speaking of summarizing big texts into just a few sentences, I think that is perfect, and that's exactly what it says. And so many times we complicate things, and that's all we need to remember. We've been talking several weeks about how to develop our faith, and our faith is just like any other muscle. It must be used in order to develop it. We must use it. It's not easy now. We remember that it's not always easy. It's difficult. Sometimes we'll go through a challenge. It looks like there is no answer. We may think we've tried everything, and we just can't deal with it anymore. We're just ready to give up and say, well, I guess there is no answer to this. And maybe that's the time we really do need to remember our faith. I was reading an article by another Unity minister that teaches out west, and he said he couldn't believe it. He had a time not too long ago where he had a really big decision to make. He said the problem was that it wouldn't just have implications for him, but it would also have implications for many other people. And so it was a big decision, and he needed to really be mindful about how he made it. And so he was sitting one day, and he thought, you know what? I can't believe this. I haven't prayed about it once. He said it caught him off guard. He couldn't believe the fact that he had this big decision to make, and he hadn't prayed about it once. He said he was ashamed to think about all the negative thoughts he'd had, all the things he'd been thinking about, if it goes this way, if it goes that way, if it goes the other way. And with all those thoughts, he hadn't thought to bring it to God. We sort of do that all the time, don't we? We just worry ourselves silly. And then we remember, now wait a minute. I think the Golden Key taught that we were supposed to put God on this problem. Anytime we have a problem, instead of just thinking about the problem all the time, we need to give it to God or put God on it, whatever works for you. Write it down, hand it as if you're handing it to God, and then let it go. I don't know how many of us that could work for, but it is certainly worth remembering, and do it every time you find yourself in angst over something. Hand it to God and expect a good outcome. If it's not good, it's not the end yet, okay? Expect a good outcome. You know that I enjoy walking in the morning when the weather is good enough. I love to get out early and will usually walk a couple of miles, and it just it's part of my day and makes me feel good. So, excuse me, one day last week I had been walking and hadn't even realized it, but I was I guess I had been going over and over in my mind a particular problem I was thinking about with a family member that's facing a health challenge. And so I was thinking, well, you know, how you can do, just thinking about that. And I was coming just to the, where Steve's restaurant there is at the marina. I was just walking around the curb and sitting right on top of the sand, and I'm sure it's where they had been pushing the sand up. We've had so much sand blowing in on the roads lately. They are routinely pushing the sand up, and it was a dime just sitting there ready for me to pick it up. Now, I know I've said that before, and people look at me like, you can't pick up that much money. You just can't. I'll make a picture of the money that I pick up while I'm walking, okay? You won't believe it. I've got a $20 bill, a $5 bill, a $1, 100, but it's not real. It was from a festival. I picked it up like it was real. Now, admittedly, yes, I walk usually along a commercial area where I'll walk down the main road there in Long Beach and then across to where the beach is, and they're, you know, down where they sell bait, down where the fishermen get out their pockets. They're not mindful. They drop dollars on, you know, they're thinking about going out catching that fish. It's what they're thinking about. And but I do, and maybe one of the reasons is I notice. Maybe I just notice more than others, but I usually, every time I'm out, I'll find a coin or two, whatever size it is. But this particular day, I was out walking around and thinking a lot about this particular issue, and there's this dime sitting there, so I reached down, picked it up, put it in my pocket, and when I got home, I put it a little bit away. I wanted to keep it separate because I have a couple that I've kept separate because I remember exactly what I was thinking about when that symbol was given to me, and that's the way I look at it. It's a symbol, it's something it's a sign that's given to me from God, that's mine. And so I've set them aside. And so later that day, I kept having the urge to look at that coin. I'm thinking, why? It's just a dime. So I got the magnifying glass, looked at it, and I said, oh, it was printed 1975. That's interesting. It's older. Maybe it had been sitting along the marina for a while before it was dug up. I don't know. And then I started to walk away, and I got an urge, no, look again. And so, look again, and right across are the words, "In God We Trust." And I knew the minute I saw those words, they were meant for me. I said, okay, I finally get it. Because as I was walking and sort of worrying about that issue and how it would turn out, I know that I was not doing what I said to do and to have faith and to turn that over to God. I was doing the opposite. So, no matter what you think about whether those words ought to be on that coin, okay, I'm not talking about that. That's not a discussion about that at all. It's just that was my sign given to me that day. And it was a reminder, we trust in God. And so I remembered that. And I've set that coin aside, and I have some that I've set aside. I have another one that I found one day when I was worrying about a friend, and I was worrying, no doubt. I'll admit to that, and I shouldn't have been. And then it's just a reminder to me, turn this over to God. Turn this over to God. So I said this week, too, that beyond talking a few minutes about exploring our faith and our trust, that I would also talk a little bit about a metaphysical interpretation of Holy Week. And I know that in the bulletin, we had some words from Charles Fillmore, where he says, the word Jerusalem comes from the root word shalom, Jerusalem, the holy city. It symbolizes within us the habitation of peace, possession of peace, vision of peace, or abode of prosperity within us. So if we take the story of Holy Week symbolically and we look at what it can mean for us, our master teacher Jesus was coming into Jerusalem. He knew that there was a purpose for him, and he already knew the outcome of this week. Unlike others, he already knew what the week would hold. And so he's coming into the city of Jerusalem through the gates, and there are palm branches that have been laid down for him. And the palm branches meant that what they would typically do is to lay them down for royalty, meaning we adore you, we appreciate you. A lot of times it was for royalty, but Jesus wanted none of that. And so there's the symbolism of his riding into Jerusalem on a donkey, okay? So we have the humility of coming into the city of peace on a donkey. So I want you to visualize that and think about that. And the various things that he came into that week, he was coming for the observance of Passover that week, which would have been a typical trip for an observant Jew, which he was, and his friends were, as well as his family. He ran into a lot of different things that week, didn't he? He even had doubt like we do. It said when he was in the garden that he asked God, would you take this cup from me? Of course, he had a bit of fear and doubt and wanted a different outcome. But you know what? He went through it anyway. He chose to go through it, and that's what the lesson for us is there, that sometimes we know there are things we need to go through. We don't hide from them. We don't go around them. The way to strengthen our faith is to go through them and use our faith to do that, and our strength and our courage. He was asked to come before Pilate and report. What had happened was that the Jewish, they had their hierarchy too. There were different levels of hierarchy. When he got to the temple, he saw that the Jews there that were running it, they had allowed gaming in the temple. And he said, this is not the proper usage for a temple where we need to worship God. And so we need to remember that too with our own thoughts. The symbolism here is we don't, to keep our own thoughts, our own temple pure of thoughts. We don't hold anger, resentment, we keep our temple as pure as possible, to keep it holy, to keep this sacred space. And so as he traveled through the city, there, of course, those that wanted to be healed. And another example is just by touching the hem of his garment. Another piece of the story. Isn't that beautiful? There's a painting that I just love, cannot remember the name of the artist, but the name of it is The Hem of His Garment. And he's all you see is a sandal and the hem of his robe, and just barely a hand reaching up to touch the hem of his garment. And that's another piece of developing our faith, right? By your faith you will be healed. So that's another piece of faith and another symbolism of some of the stories that we find there. The stories are all very touching. In this Holy Week, sometimes we wonder, how could it be named Holy Week when at the end of it, this one that these Jews, remember the Jews that were in the hierarchy, the higher hierarchy, they were afraid of him. And it's why he was crucified, you know, is that they're the ones that kept reporting him to the Romans because they were afraid that what they had going there, you know, with the Roman, they had a pretty neat arrangement with the Romans, and that was if they did their part, the Romans would leave them alone. You know what I mean? And so they didn't want to rock the boat. And they could see that this man, Jesus, was going to. And he had a following. And that's what was going to happen there. So they're the ones that reported him. And but it's a story that was meant to turn out that way. Okay, so it was meant to be. But then toward the end, we see that what he actually came to say, and the real story was this, that he had come to tell us that we can be reborn any moment. The moment we reach for peace, the moment we decide that God is in me too, and I can find heaven right here on earth. I don't have to be crucified. Nothing else has to happen here. And it was the symbolism of his returning, was to show us that right here on this earth we can be close to God by accepting that grace. So what we do in our current day telling of this story is that we've made it more modern, haven't we? We've made it a bit more modern, and we need to make it real for this culture that we're living in. We don't live in that culture then, when there was a harsher environment. But we live now, but we still have some pretty harsh thoughts, don't we? There's some pretty harsh things that can go on, and we still pray for that. On one of my walks, I think it's probably now been 6 or 8 weeks ago, and I had walked in the afternoon. It was on a Saturday, and I walked in the afternoon because it was finally warm enough and sunny. And as I was coming from the west down at the harbor, down at the marina at Long Beach, walking along, got fairly close, I saw somebody over at Steve's Marina waving at me like this, just, waving up and down. I thought, I guess he's waving at me. I looked over more closely. Oh, well, that's Tony. I think I see John Lipscomb and Andrea. And so as I walked on around the corner, I walked around to where they were, and they had just had lunch at Steve's. And I'm giving them an advertisement today, aren't I? They'll need to pay us for the advertising. But they had just eaten lunch, and it was such a beautiful day. They were just standing in the sun, enjoying it and enjoying the fellowship. And so John, we got into a discussion about walking, and John said, "Oh yeah, I saw her way over there, way before she crossed the road." And I knew it was her. He said, "You know, everybody has a unique walk." And I could see that was her over there. And I was thinking about that this morning, and I was thinking that, yeah, each and every one of us does have a unique walk, don't we? And we're proud of that. That's who we are. We're in these bodies, and we're standing on the shoulders of others that have gone before us. And sometimes we may walk just like our dad or our mom, but not exactly like them, because we're each unique. We have our own purpose. We have our unique gifts that are only ours. And I guess then that made me think of what we've included in the bulletin this morning too. And that's my intention for how I intend to walk through this life. And I hope you'll think about that too, for the remainder of the day, maybe for the remainder of the week. Through the remainder of my life, I intend to walk gently, to remember that all paths are hallowed ground, all of them. All of them. No matter the challenges or circumstances, I intend to walk in peace, joy, and gratitude. I will walk gently with others while we're walking together. Bless them as our paths take different directions. If life is a journey, then how I make that journey is important. How I walk through life is what matters. How I treat others today matters. Shall I walk with deep reverence and gratitude? Shall I walk with fear, anger, resentment, blame, self-righteousness, or maybe another negative trait? I get to choose. It's my choice. This moment, this day, tomorrow, and the day after that. I hope you'll choose to walk lovingly, gratefully, wisely. Not only make this a holy day and a holy week, but make each and every one of them holy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Judy. And a beautiful message. Now it's our time to give expression for our appreciation for all that's offered here at Unity of Gulfport. Please take your offerings in your hands and say along with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust in God. Thank you.
My soul is welcome, my soul is welcome, my soul is welcome here. I'm at the right place, at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place, at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place, at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place, at the right time.
That's a great message. My soul is welcome here, and I can feel it. We're so grateful for every person present here today and the love and the generosity and the light that they brought with them and will take right back out into the world. We're grateful for that. All these tithes and offerings, and we ask that they would be multiplied tenfold for the giver and the receiver, heaped up, pressed down, and running over. So it is. Okay, youth, come on up. And there's Christian. Haven't seen you in a few weeks. Welcome back, honey. All of you. Isn't this a good-looking crew of kids? I tell you. Okay. All right. With meaning now, we're sending out some good energy to these kids. Yeah. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you, empowering you to do great things. So it is.
Protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.